Death is considered a taboo subject in many cultures, and a cemetery is regarded as a sacred, undisturbed place. However, in this quiet abode, a symbolic plant is in abundance. This documentary will show you this plant and its secret lifestyle as you have never seen before. Commonly known as the frangipani, the Plumeria obtusa is a popular flower. To date, there are 7 species of Plumeria and over 200 named varieties. The name Plumeria comes from Charles Plumier, a 17th century French botanist who had studied several species. However, the first discovery of the Plumeria is attributed to Francisco de Mendoza, a Spanish priest in 1522. The most iconic Plumeria flower is termed celandine, or the white star, with white petals and a yellow center. From their native habitat in the American tropics, Plumerias have been introduced to all tropical areas of the world with great success.
Today we'll be observing Plumerias in their natural habitat. They're not shy creatures, but we still need to keep quiet. Okay, come, follow me.
Let's begin. The water's fine, come on, dive in. The future's here, it's right before your eyes. Step by step, you're on your way. Welcome to a brighter day. Don't you know it feels good to be alive? You could be larger than life, bigger than the world, living out the hopes and dreams of every boy and every girl.
Look, Plumeria, let's go. This one doesn't look like it's blooming. This is a better plant. Okay, this Plumeria plant can grow up to 20 to 25 feet tall and has a special feature called the Plumeria crown, as you can see here, this bright green part. Now, this Plumeria crown is where all the leaves and flowers of the Plumeria sprouts from, and it's found at the end of every branch. And it's colored green because it's new wood, and it would turn brown like the rest of the plant in a few months' time. Now, as you can see here, we have the Plumeria flower, which blooms throughout the year for a very long time, and basically it comes in red, pink, and white. Additionally, they are highly scented at night to attract sphinx moth to pollinate them. Large plants such as the Plumeria can be used as shelter by small animals. While walking down the trail, fortunately I noticed a rare creature, the tree squirrel, seeking shelter from the rain in a Plumeria tree.
Squirrel!
Plumeria scales are small, hard-shelled insects that stick to the underside of the leaves of the plant. They cause the leaves to curl or fall off as they feed on the leaves and flowers. Pesticides could treat the scale infestations, but there are also natural insecticides such as predatory bugs that will eat the scales. For example, the Plumeria can form a mutualistic relationship with a species of ant. Plumeria plants produce a sweet solution on their leaf stems to attract ants. Ants are very territorial insects, so they don't allow the existence of other insects such as the scale bugs, which could damage the plant.
For Plumerias, there are 5 waxy petals which overlaps each other. This shows that the flower is a eudicote, which means they have 2 cotyledons in the seeds. They have dry, hard pods for its fruit, which is 15 to 30 centimeters long, and very inconspicuous because it's dispersed by wind.
The Plumeria is an angiosperm, which means its gametophyte phase is found in flowers, which forms fruits that sow the seeds. The anther, the microspore-producing structure, and the ovary, the megaspore-producing structure, are not separate. A pair can be found in each flower. Much like other flowering plants, Plumeria forms a fruit after the gametes undergo fertilization. This fruit is pod-shaped and splits open when dry to release the seeds, which are dispersed by wind. The seeds themselves have special wing-like structures that enable them to be carried by wind currents. Plumeria plants can crossbreed with different colored flowers. The color of the offspring flowers can be determined by the genes it obtains from its parents. From this square, we can show the probability of a plant getting a certain flower color from the plant's genetic material.
The Punnett square is used to predict an outcome of a particular cross or breeding experiment. It is named after Reginald C. Punnett, who created this method, and is used by biologists to determine the probability of an offspring having a particular genotype. It is a summary in a table form of every possible combination of one maternal allele with one paternal allele for every gene being studied in the cross. These tables help give accurate probabilities for the genotype outcomes of independent crosses where the probability of inheriting copies of each paternal allele is independent.
Here is a cross-section of the Plumeria flower. You can see the minuscule pair of antlers found in the bottom part of the flower. Additionally, you can see the reduced male gametophyte phase of the plant, the pollen grains, lining up the walls of the flower stalk. Here is a zoomed-in version of the cross-section of the flower. This picture is more complete as it shows both the antlers and the ovary.
The plumeria shows distinct markings when illuminated under UV light, for example dark lines that lead to the center of the flower, called nectar guides. These markings are used to attract insects, leading them to the nectar in the flowers for them to feed on, as some insects can only see in the ultraviolet spectrum. This will also benefit the flower in reproduction, in that it ensures insects will pick up or deposit pollen grains.
Though not commonly seen in Singapore, cold weather is a serious threat to these plumerias. Therefore, the plant itself is characteristically deciduous. They also have a high drought and salt tolerance and moderate wind resistance. Plumeria flowers tend to bloom after a dry period, usually during the first few weeks of the hot and monsoon seasons. However, this quaint plant is not without its weaknesses.
The larvae of the Plumeria moth, the pseudosminx tetrio, can consume whole leaves if left unattended, and is able to detoxify the Plumeria sap. Additionally, Plumeria rust, a fungal parasite, forms clustered spots which contain sporangia on the leaves, causing it to fall off.
The plumeria flower is renowned for its aroma and beauty, but unknown to most people, this plant has numerous medical benefits as well.
Plumeria flower tea is believed to have a cooling effect and is good for digestion. The leaves have displayed inhibitory effect on various bacteria strains, which makes it a good antibiotic. The barks can be used to relieve fever, while the stems and roots can be used to heal swollen feet. The saps from the flower has relieving effects on itching, however it is toxic and is unsuitable for human consumption.
New research has found that plumeria extract has strong antibiotic properties. Research done by Bagel A.S. et al. Have shown that plumeria extract can be used to inhibit the growth of bacteria such as E. coli and S. epidermis. Some human bacteria are known to infect humans. With further research, the antimicrobial properties of plumeria can be commercialized into antibiotics. Additionally, as plumeria is not endangered, there will be no shortages of such antibiotics.
Though this plant may seem harmless, many stories have been weaved around the plumeria plants. As the color white is associated with death and funerals, it has given rise to the Vietnamese myth in which ghosts live in trees with white and fragrant flowers, including the frangipani. In Malay folklore, the scent of the frangipani is often associated with a vampire, the Pontianak. However, these stories have not lessened the flower's popularity at all. The frangipani tree is not only the national tree of Laos, it is also the flower of the city of Palermo in Sicily, Italy, and the national flower of Nicaragua.
Frangipani flowers are quite common in bouquets. Giving a frangipani to someone would symbolize shelter and protection. In traditional Hindu culture, frangipani also symbolized loyalty, and women will always wear it on their wedding day to show faithfulness to the husband. Frangipanis can also be found on Hawaiian necks.
Indeed, plumerias have taken the world by a storm and are widely grown in greenhouses all over the world. Unlike their other counterparts, they are not considered endangered. Hopefully, plumerias will continue to bloom with us for a very long time.